Who doesn't love a good apple pie? Follow these quick and easy steps to make your own apple pie right at home. For my apple pie, I'm using 5 Granny Smith apples and 2 Cosmic Crisp apples. You can use whatever kind of apples you want. Just experiment with them and see which combination of flavors you like best. Once you've selected your apples, peel them and slice them up into thin slices like I have here after coring the apples. Put them in a bowl and add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a half cup of granulated sugar, a half cup of light brown sugar, lightly packed, next add 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, and a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Lastly, add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to the apples. Go ahead and toss it together. Now wash all the stickiness off your hands. And believe it or not, that's all you need to make a delicious apple pie filling. With your apple pie filling made, go ahead and preheat the oven to 400 degrees. Now I'm going to dump my homemade pie filling into my homemade pie crust that I just baked. Go ahead and check out that video using my link in the description. Spread the apples around so that they're evenly distributed. If you have any extra apples left over, you can just bake those in a dish all by themselves and have fried apples. Now I'm going to take more pie crust dough and lay it out on my cutting board here. Smush it down a little bit. I'm going to butter the rolling pin so that it doesn't stick. Buttering works so much better than flouring. Roll it out until it's about 1 foot in diameter. Alright, now I'm going to drape this top crust over top of my pie. And smush it down a little bit so that it sticks. With your pie assembly, take a knife and cut 4 slits to allow steam to vent. Just like that. Brush the top crust with egg. The egg will help give it a nice crunch. Now pop it in the oven at 400 degrees for 25 minutes. Once the 25 minutes is up, reduce the temperature on the oven to 375 degrees. And cook it for 30 minutes. Also, look at how the pie is looking so far. I wish you guys could smell that. I just pulled the apple pie out of the oven and man does it look good. I'm gonna let it cool for an hour and then I'm going to try it. I can't wait. Now that I've given my pie plenty of time to cool, it's time to cut it open and see how it tastes. Top with vanilla bean or cinnamon ice cream and dig in. This tastes fantastic. It's not mushy and it's perfectly crispy. Don't forget to check out my pie crust video, and also don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Christmas is almost here and it's time to start making cookies. Now if you're gluten-free, you know how hard making cookies can be. Oftentimes they don't taste right or they just fall apart in your hands. Let me guide you through baking good gluten-free cookies in an easy way. We'll start by preheating the oven to 375 degrees. Next up, let's prepare the topping for the cookies. One-third cup of granulated sugar, mixed with 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now let's mix 3 cups of gluten-free flour with the other dry ingredients. We need to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. Stir it all up. And there you go. Now let's mix the butter and the sugar together. All right, let's add 2 sticks or 1 cup of butter to the mixing bowl. And then 1 1/3 cups of sugar. I'm gonna beat the butter and the sugar together on high for 2 minutes. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. 1 whole egg, and 1 egg yolk. I can smell that vanilla. Okay, those are all the ingredients. So now I'm going to pour the flour in and mix it all together, and then we'll have cookie dough. Set it to low speed. Alright, now you don't have to chill this dough. It's pretty firm as is, so we can move on to the next step, which is shaping it. Alright, it's time to roll up our sleeves and get this dough on the baking sheet. So what you want to do is take a scoop, such as a 1 tablespoon measuring spoon, which I find works really well, and then grab a pretty big scoop of dough from the bowl. Get it out of there. Roll it into a ball, and then roll it in the cinnamon sugar. Coat it well. And set it on the tray. Make sure that there's plenty of room in between all the dough balls and the edges of the pan, so that when they flatten out in the oven, they don't form one big sheet of cookie. Alright, I filled up both of my baking sheets, and now I'm going to put them in the oven. Make sure that you do this on the center rack. If you don't use the center rack, you'll probably burn the cookies. Now I could use both middle racks, but I've just burned too many cookies in the past. I'm going to start our timer for 10 minutes, and we'll see how these cookies turn out. While those cookies are in the oven, I'm gonna fill up this baking sheet as well with cookies. Now I should also mention that I do have a black baking sheet that I could use. It's just that cookies baked on darker baking sheets tend to have burned bottoms, so I don't like to use those ones. Alright, my cookies are fresh out of the oven and they smell and look amazing. I'm gonna get them on the cooling rack so that they don't go soggy. And they also come up very nicely because of all the butter in them. I didn't even need to spray the baking sheet. This recipe makes about 2 dozen cookies, so plenty to feed an entire Christmas party. Little baby cookie there. I'm gonna let these cool and then I'm gonna try them. And there you have it, perfect gluten-free snickerdoodle cookies. They hold together great and they smell amazing. So now let's try it and see if it's delicious. It's got the perfect amount of crunch on the outside and the perfect amount of chewiness on the inside. It's also really nice and sweet and cinnamony. The smell and taste of snickerdoodle cookies are among my favorite in the world, I think. If I'm not careful, I might just eat the entire batch of snickerdoodle cookies before my family comes into the kitchen. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite kind of cookie is. Your taste buds thank you for watching. Coffee pizza. What in the world is a coffee pizza, you may be thinking? Well, it's not actually a pizza. It's a cookie shaped like a pizza with coffee for an added twist. Cookie pizzas are quick and easy because you don't have to roll out each individual cookie. Now for this recipe, you can use chocolate chips, or you can do what I've done, and you can take Hershey Kisses and chop them up into chocolate chunks. This is a great way to get rid of any leftover Hershey Kisses you may have from holiday baking. Plus, chocolate chunks just taste better. So go ahead and cut it like this. Make sure your fingers aren't too close. I'm gonna cut the pieces in half. And you have these nice little chunks. This also works perfectly with chocolate bars. Alright, before we start mixing up this delicious dough, I'm going to set the oven to 350 degrees. Take 3/4 of a cup of butter, or 1½ sticks at room temperature. Put them in your mixing bowl with a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar and 3/4 of a cup granulated sugar. Put on the paddle attachment and beat the butter and the sugar together for about 2 minutes. Next, add in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and finally 1 teaspoon of salt. And now for the special ingredient, coffee. Go ahead and pour in a half cup of it. Beat it together for about a minute. Switch over to the dough hook attachment. Get it stirring and slowly add in 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Now take your chocolate chips or your chocolate chunks and put those into the dough. And stir it together. Now with your batter made, go ahead and grease a little baking dish like this one, or a pizza stone would probably work too. Now pour the dough into the pan. The thickness of the cookie is really completely up to you, so you may end up making multiple cookie pizzas. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the oven for 15 minutes and we'll see how it comes out. All right, my coffee pizzas are fresh out of the oven and they look and smell amazing. I'm gonna let these cool for a few minutes and then I'm gonna cut them. If you wanna add any toppings or anything, now would be the time while they're still warm. You can add chopped up Reese's, chopped up Snickers, chopped up Twix, anything you want and can dream of. Also, one other idea is 3 minutes before they come out of the oven, pull them out and dump some marshmallows on top and stick them back in the oven. This will help any toppings that you may want to add to stick really well. All right, here we go. This is the final product. It's a little bit like a deep dish pizza, but hey, you can top this with vanilla ice cream, or for even more sugary goodness, some caramel syrup or chocolate syrup would be great. Wow, that is really good. The chocolate and the coffee perfectly complement each other. I can't wait to devour this entire pizza, but before I do, make sure you guys leave a like and a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Your taste buds thank you for watching. I'm really craving some Rice Krispie treats right now, so I'm gonna quick whip these up at home. Start by greasing a 9x13-inch baking dish. You can use butter, margarine, or cooking spray. Now wash your hands off with some hot water and soap. And no, there's no baking involved in this. We just greased the baking sheet to put the Rice Krispie mixture in after we're done cooking it. Set the baking dish aside and set a pot on the stove. Grab half a stick of butter, put it in the pot and set the stove to medium. You're gonna want to just move that butter around until it's melted. And then we're ready for the next step. With the heat still on, take some marshmallows, 10 ounces of them, and pour those into the pot with the butter. This bag actually happens to be just 10 ounces. And these marshmallows will condense down as they cook. Just stir them slowly until they've all melted. As you stir this, definitely make sure not to get any on your fingers because it's really sticky, and always continually stir it because both butter and the sugar in the marshmallows burn very easily. Okay, now my marshmallows are all melted. They smell really good. Now what you want to do is turn off the stove and scoop 6 cups of Rice Krispies cereal into the pot. It can be official or off-brand, it doesn't matter. Stir it in between some of the scoops. The Rice Krispies do look like a lot at first, but they mix in. Okay, I think it's mixed well enough now. It smells really good, just like a fresh Rice Krispie treat from the package. One of my favorite smells. Take the grease pan from earlier and transfer all of the Rice Krispie treat from the pot into the pan. Grease a spatula and then use it to press down the Rice Krispies and spread them around the pan. Alright, so now that they're pressed down into the pan, let them cool for about 15 minutes and then they're ready to top, cut, and eat. You can top your Rice Krispie treats off with whatever you want, such as M&M's, chocolate syrup, frosting, or whatever else you can think of. Comment down below what you put on your Rice Krispies, and then cut them and enjoy. They make 2 dozen 2-inch by 2-inch pieces. These are so perfect. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Your taste buds thank you for watching.